Hello there. Hi. If you were just with me, I just got done talking about 90 Day Fiance, season 5, episode 13. But right now, I'm going to I do have some stuff in my teeth. I'm sorry. I was eating nuts. Talk about Love Off the Grid, honey. All the episodes up until like the last tell all. Tell all is a big word. More like, where are they now? But like missing people. So, what an interesting show, and what a journey that we've been on together while I've recapped this show. And being able to like have some insider scoop from Lindsay's friend who came on the show, Lauren. And I just like, I really loved watching the show, but as things come to light, the underbelly of some of the like fakeness and maybe what was and what wasn't is annoying a little bit, is how I would say. I'm so happy to see you guys. Yeah, I really did eat a bunch of nuts trying to like eat between my last live and this, and now I just have like a mouthful of stuff, and that's what's gonna happen. Okay, let's start. Charlie and Jen. Okay. This whole time, they wanted us to be like, Jen's issues are this. She's a city girl, likes high maintenance beauty items, routines, procedures, upkeep. But she's been in love with Charlie before when they were younger, reconnected with him now. And Charlie won't leave that mountain, honey, because that is where his mom lives. And as we know, he's not going to leave Mommy Mountain, neither his mommy nor the mountain. And Jen, this whole time, I have studied every moment of Jen on this because I really like her a lot. There has nary been one time in which she hasn't had like a cuticle showing from a gel nail. Do you know what I'm saying? There are many times in which Jen's coming off of this mountain going into town. Maybe she's like going grocery shopping for the mom, but Jen is having some free time in the city, honey, to get a gel mani-pedi. Now, I'm not saying that's wrong, but let's call a spade a spade. Why didn't she ever bring it up? Like, Jen has such good extension games. These eyelash extensions and her hair extensions look on point the entire time. So, besides the fact that Charlie's sister likes Jen, Charlie's mom likes Jen, they've all been friends for so long. You know, Jen like sleeps in bed with like Charlie's mom, like blink, blink, just like, you know, Mike and Hamina do, just like staring at each other. God bless. But she also likes to, I think, spend time with Mike's mom because it's like a normal ass house, you know, like total cute, total, you know, comfort filled mom house. Charlie's mom is a traditional woman, a foundational woman who's like, honey, I just raised my kids. I was there. I raised my kids. They always knew they could come to me for emotional support. I was there. And it blessed her in her life in such a way that she is a resilient, strong willed, seems like happy, taken cared for woman. She does have a son that'll be there. They'll repot all her plants for her, you know, and her sister, you know, that daughter comes around all the time too. And now she has this new daughter in Jen that she was old daughter because they were together for a long time. So, one other part they showed in the extra scenes they didn't show during the episodes was that Charlie had talked about building extra units, extra areas for Jen's two sons to come. I didn't realize that that was an option. That seems like a really great option. So, oh my God, Wah from the laundromat. You know what I was gonna say? That's so funny you should say that, Wah, because I was gonna be like, you should just come to my house and wash all your clothes. You know? She's like, bye. Did you put it in yet? If you haven't, just come right to my house and wash all your clothes. So I have big extra tubs, you know. That's what's gonna, I guess, happen. Jen's like, look, I made it. My friends didn't think I would, but I'm a mountain girl now. I love this mommy. I love this mountain. I'm a mommy. This mommy mountain. I don't know how long it's gonna be the mommy mountain, you know, with Charlie's mom. She's getting up there in age, but I'm gonna take it over. Me and my sons will be here. We also got to see pictures of Jen when she was like a bodybuilder, and got to really see like how strong she is. I mean, at one point in the last episode, she gets into like a hot tub, which is just literally a plastic tub with Charlie, and she's like, what's all this stuff floating in the water? He's like, it's from the hose. And I was like, is that not just also from the basin? I don't know how clean out that was, but her body is banging. So, the other thing is, okay, so what makes me kind of sad about the Where Are They Now or whatever catch up is when I see those pictures of Jen like bodybuilding her way into like some like, you know, tan, white-faced, you know, strong woman. It makes me realize how much of these people we don't know enough about. Because like being able to know Lindsay is a fire dancer is a whole other part of her that we're like, oh, it's good, it detracts. It makes someone more well-rounded. I don't see why they can't make mountain living a little more comfy. Yeah, I mean, it's like rustic mountain living. Like you would have to have a lot of money to have something done really well that is eco-efficient and easy with backup generators and whatnot. But I think, you know, and solar paneling and whatnot. And I'm sure it's very expensive, but I think that is like some form of that is the future. So I don't know what to tell you. If you're making a house build up from square one, how do you do that? Fire dancer, what does that mean? Oh yeah, she was a whole ass fire dancer. Do I have a picture here still? Look at her go. You know, it's like, yeah, it's the Jen bodybuilder thing. You wouldn't like, it just like speaks to someone's like artistic flow, what turns them on, like what their dedication is, what their discipline is for both things. Oh, been following you for a long time. I just never comment. Happy to see you posting, continue to shine your light. Sending much love to you. That is an amazing comment. And I'm like hiccuping and just like eating nuts while talking to you. Thank you so much for this beautiful comment. Oh, what a beautiful color on you. Oh yeah, I totally see. Okay, so I'm gonna say that I'm of course might say your name wrong, but Afua. I will say this. I see the subtle purple in your hair against that beautiful like golden top, and it makes me like very happy for many reasons. It's like bright colors, but also like it's a little Laker fan for me, and I'm just like I always will be. Oh, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that. Oh, let me get rid of you. Oh, sorry, my loves. I haven't had a spammer in so long. There. Okay. Sorry. Thank you so much for that super chat. That's so super sweet. I really, really appreciate it. And honey, you have a light that's obviously within you too, and it's shining out of that picture. Yes. Okay, we're back. So anyway, yeah, so with Jen and Charlie, they're like the ones that were like the strongest couple to start with. Like there feels like, yeah, they're the ones that are like still together. So is Joe and Maisha. But just because they've had that like historical time together. They were somewhat like the people that got interviewed the most, and I think in the promos for the show. I feel like the budget for the show was $2. You know, they didn't do anything for it. So anyway, let's move on. Let's get into Joe and Maisha. So she's been really wanting to get married, and I get it. I think the thought is, I am going to toil this land, and I'm going to bear you children, and we are going to build the life we want with the family structure that we want. But I require the emotional and financial security that a marriage provides. Legally, I get claim to this land, so do our kids. And also emotionally, even though we are a polyamorous group, I really want to eat this chicken, but I gotta do it off camera. Even though we are a polyamorous group, I will always be the head bitch. And I will be the one that's married to you. And everyone else is whatever they're doing in their life. It has nothing to do with me. It's very good. You know, I've always liked them. How can you not? There is a vibe about them to each other that makes me feel like they are on the exact same page. Yes, with here and there little things. And the thing is like, yeah, he, you know, is not someone who like wants to like sign papers. He wants to just like be his own man. Look at his facial hair and his hair. He's not someone who like abides by anything, you know, like it's not for him. But he does really, really love her. So they made this pact that they will get married in a spiritual union that will be, of course, legally binding this year, and that they'll have a knockout, blowout wedding reception in about a year's time, hopefully. That's sort of like a housewarming situation while we get everything packed up, and she's happy about that. They still have to like plan something. He is vague and perhaps a little not forthcoming, but also a little stone-faced when it comes to talking about his family, the family thinks of him, his life, Maisha, what their plans are, all of it. Now, there's like things we don't know about Joe, because we don't know about these people a lot. Like we don't know a lot about Joe. When Joe gives any detail, we're like, oh, okay, your dad owns a hardware store? Oh, okay. Even if they told us that episode, even if he like told us that like once before, it's like it's not hammered home enough. Not as hammered home as it would be if I had a parent that had a hardware store. You know, I would hammer that home. Joke. We don't know what we don't know what his deal is. Like, is he an acid dropping like hippie? Or is that a part of him? No. Is he just like a country boy gun lover? Could be. I mean, I'm not quite sure. I love them together, even though I think they're secretly starting a cult. During the tell-all or whatever, I keep saying tell-all, they were like, are you guys starting a cult? They're like, no, that's the dumbest thing ever. Why would we start a cult? And I was like, your idea Maisha's like, sometimes when she talks about her perfect idea of what her family structure is, a little bit like, okay, wait, so you want him, okay, you and him will be married. You want to bring on someone else into your relationship that he will have sex with and you will have sex with, a female. And this person that will be a person that you both have sex with will also assume a submissive role to both of you and the three of you at the same time. As well as in the house all the time, will this person also have children? And she says something like, and if we find someone he wants to have sex with, but I'm just friends with, but she wants to hang out, then she will also live on the compound. Then he will have sex with her and they can just hang out and do fun planting together. I mean, I guess they all have certain goals and ways they want to live, and we'll just see what tapers out with people who like what they want to do, you know? Because then there's going to be other dudes there too, and I'm not quite sure how they get involved. More so than just being one of like Joseph's friends that are like, this is the best idea ever. Lisa, subs, breeder, and sheetrocker. I mean, you need to break this down for me right now. What? Subs, breeder, and sheetrocker. Okay, listen, is the world of BDSM and polyamory absolutely fascinating? The answer is yes. The answer is yes. Sheet rocker. Like, that's all you need? Is a sheet rocker like a male, like, oh God, I feel like I want to know if that's like actual BDSM talk. Tee hoo hoo hoo. Yeah, his beard is intense, and it is. And it's like, it's a little off-putting for me sometimes. Like, how do you keep it? Like, is there just food in it all the time? Like, you put a beard oil in it? Like, is there sometimes Maisha is just like, I wonder what would happen if it was just not there? Like, does she braid it? I would want to braid it all the time. I would just like, every night I would just be like, ah. Oh my God. Submissive breeder and skilled laborers hangs wall. Oh, yes. I mean, no, I'm like so fascinated. I can't get enough. I just can't get enough. So Joe and Maisha have a ceremony, and then it's like he sets it up like by their like a fire. It's just like, this land is your land, this land is my land, and we'll get married from California to New York. I know, God bless. It's like some sort of that. But then they get married later on in front of her pastor and his wife. And just to hear her parents, she's just like, yeah, my parents, like my mom at first, like just really wants me to get married. She likes that marriage thing. At first they didn't really like know that Joseph was a whole thing that was going to happen for a long time. And then they like, when I came out here, they had to like start taking that seriously. And now they do. And my mom is like chill about that. I mean, the polyamory thing, my mom kind of gets it. And I feel like she's just like, yeah, Mom, I just get to have friends. Help me do shit all the time. Mom's like, yeah, okay. What again is weird is that we don't know why Joseph hasn't told his parents anything, or when he is going to tell his parents, or what his parents will think, or if he's just one of those dudes that like doesn't say anything until like he needs to say something, because he's just like not a talker. He's more of a doer and more of a baby girl sayer, So let's move on to Spence and Lindsay. So we had somewhat talked about this, and then of course what ends up happening was this playing out of Lindsay's dog having this scary moment, which was the dog wasn't feeling well, was being lethargic, was being overall going through it. And then sometimes when dogs feel like they're sick, they have a tendency to hide as almost like a natural way in which they, I guess, if they're feeling like they're weak and can't survive, that they somewhat protect themselves by not being out. And also they'd want to somewhat pass away in a peaceful, serene state without company. Now, I get that. I don't know. It's horrible to say. Do I want to? Do I? If I had my choice, would I pass with people or would I pass without people? It's a morbid question. Obviously, I would have loved to say goodbye to all of my family and friends. No, I think I'd like to die holding someone's hand that I really, really like. Even though I feel like that's selfish because then I'm like somewhat traumatizing that person as having to have said like they were holding my hand when I died. But maybe there's just something where we can all agree at some point we will all be holding people's hands as they die. And this pass it on moment is like what life's about. Sometimes you just got to hold a hand while someone dies, you know? It's very deep, it's very morbid. But I'm hoping that what I'm talking about happens on deathbeds of elderly people who lived great lives, long, long lives. And the person that they're holding is their loved ones, maybe child or grandchild or whatnot. You know, it's like that. Speaking of Lindsay's dog, it's a sad situation where Lindsay has to like go around looking for this dog, and they end up finding the dog, and the dog is like in the low part by water, and the other dogs find it, and then they have this like vet that comes on. Suddenly the protection's there, and the vet and Lindsay are taking the dog to town to the vet, and Spence has been in town working, and there was a whole crux of their conflict of whether Lindsay can make it living out at the homestead throughout the year, and whether there was any like push or pull room on like what happens during the winter months, and if there's an option for them to like maybe live in town. There's a lot of like conflicts that or obstacles that present themselves for like Lindsay. Like Lindsay has one car and it's a big ass van. Now, would it be easier if Lindsay had a all-wheel drive car that could like go over things in the winter? Probably. She doesn't have that. She has like, what looks like a Scooby-Doo van. So sometimes I wonder like what can be alleviated, what can't be. So would having a better car that makes one feel like being able to traverse the wilderness, would that be better for you? Could there be improvements done with dog panels and dog canoodling or dog house or anything that would make you feel better throughout the winter? Spence, is your thought pattern that you can't go throughout the winter without living there because either someone will move in there and or you'll lose track of the ranchness, or that you don't ever want to live anywhere else? This is my thought pattern. I really like Lindsay and Spence in that I think that they're like a young couple that are trying to do it. I don't know if this life is for Lindsay. It wasn't for Josh. And I don't know if it's for Lindsay. You guys are still talking about what I'm saying. Okay, yeah. You know what? It's just that I went right over my head. It's just that Lisa, I just think sometimes that you're smarter than me and you are smarter than me. And so I think that like you knew something specifically about the BDSM lifestyle that you were like letting me know about that, because I'm a little naive and a little giggly about like, what these are different, like I don't know about polyamory stuff. So like, is there like different roles? Do I call that? Are there some breeders? I mean, listen, yes, the answer is listen. Someone just told me about, okay, breeding is a whole kink culture of sexual play. So when you said that, I was like, oh, she's like talking about that in the relationship of like a Maisha Joe family unit. So then I was like, is Joe? Yeah, like I was really trying to get it. I really try. Listen, I am sometimes too serious for my own self as I really try and like play things out. Okay. We're really all over the place because when I'm talking about BDSM on one hand, then we have Mickey right here. Like my aunt did the assisted death. You would only see certain people. I did that to see her though. God bless. God bless. Here's the thing. Can you believe that I can just really be like back and forth between those two subjects? I don't know. Well, why would anyone listen to me more than like 2 seconds at a time? Thank you so much for being here. Also like this video. Thank you. Ha ha ha. No, I literally thought it was just like, oh, she taught me something. I love you both. Okay. I'm sorry, my love. Okay. So, I think Spence should be with like an Instagram cottagecore person. That's what it feels like. It feels like Spence should be with someone who's gonna like come, want to live on that thing, like maybe wears like a little like apron, like has a puffy sleeve, like and it's like a little more submissive than Lindsay. And a little more and submissive, I think, because I think that Spence has the whole like I'm a ranch man and my I want kids and I want my dogs to be treated like dogs and kids to be treated like kids. And Lindsay is more of like a fire dancing, beautiful, free spirited, like my dogs are my kids and my kids are my dogs. I don't need any kids, So I just feel like there's just like some value and mindset difference that feels like this relationship maybe would have lasted longer if it was more city bound. But the truth is, I don't think it was probably like the everlasting love for both of them that I think it could be, in that a better match could be found for both people, even though it's hard to say. And I think that all relationships have obviously a reason and a lesson to be learned and had to happen, but from watching it from like my perspective, I feel like, yeah, like he wants a little like cottagecore lover groupie kind of girl to like come in and like put like doilies on things. She wants to like go to festivals and like have a bunch of fun. Like I'm not saying that she doesn't want to get like, I don't know what she wants to get like in a full monogamous relationship and have children. Like maybe if that is her thing, I think that she would definitely enjoy doing that with comforts of a city life or suburban life. He thinks suburban's a bad word. He's like, that privilege is disgusting to me. And I would be like, well, I love it. Sorry, I love it. Turns out it's great. I wouldn't say I wouldn't want some moments to like understand the land and nature like this, but this world is a hard one. And I'll take my creature comforts where I can. Thank you very much. Oh yeah. I'm eating right now like nuts out of a bag. I didn't go pick these nuts. These are dried Costco blueberries. I didn't like dry these myself. Oh, Lindsay on her own birthday back to my other life. Thumbs it up, baby boo. So, yeah, so it was annoying to me that Lindsay wasn't at the like catch up and Spence was just sitting there and he said that he was single. But from what I hear, honey, people have been slipping into the DMs. I'm sure of Joe and Maisha too. Yeah, I really feel like Spence should just follow like cottagecore. Hashtag. Go see all the people, like the ones that live closest to him. I'm surprised we didn't even get like a little like. They didn't even ask for like a video package of Lindsay. Lindsay should have just on her phone been like, "This is where I'm at." It must have been that she didn't want to. That's why I'm like, was this like really made for $2? Okay. Angela and Josh. What a sad shit show. So once Angela gets the truth, which is that Josh isn't super sexually turned on by her as much as he's turned on by the mothering that she gives him. He's not trying to stay around there anymore. He comes back and he's just like, he's just like a little like popcorn kernel and some butter. He like, it's like, I can't wait. I gotta go. I gotta go. I'm just like, can't wait to get out of there. It's almost like where he's like naked and afraid and he's already like pushed the button, like he can't wait. Angela doesn't get it. She's like, okay, well, can we talk about it tomorrow? He's like, oh, I'm not trying to stay here, to sleep here. I'm not even trying to talk to you anymore. I'm not trying to say anything else besides I'm not trying to stay here anymore. I hate to say it, but it's like he is so just like a pool toy. And Angela should be smarter than to be like, well, I'm hurt again by another guy that promised me the world. And it's like, well, girl, you are also picking guys that no one should be listening to. Okay. Mommy, we're all a little something. We've all moved up there a little bit in that age. And, come on, honey. I don't know why you thought that some guy that you catcalled in Hollywood 5 years ago that looks like Jason Momoa's like half brother is going to suddenly be like a knight in shining armor and like move to like the middle of the hottest place in the desert with no running water and like no air conditioning. And he looks like that and just going to like be your ranch hand and like love slave for the rest of your life. Now, here's the thing. I'm not saying you don't deserve it, but he's not the one. And why do we have to live right where you live? And I think that's is it hard? Is it too hard, Angela? If it's because you kind of go back and forth whether you're strong enough and whether it's fine for you, but also that you need someone kind of to make it worth it. And it must be that I get that it's probably very cheap to live where you live. Is there any other options with a little more shade? Just something that would, maybe not. Maybe where she lives is kind of close to where her kids are. Are you familiar with the Kingman? They put him in one of the cheapest hotels. It's themed, but it's a dump. Oh my God, that's so funny. So, my loves, Angela's like starts crying and she's like, well, isn't that what I thought it was going to be? And he's like, it's not what I thought it was going to be. And she's kind of like, I tried to warn you, but it was. And he's like, you didn't do a good job of warning me, or I didn't really understand. And like to us, she's like, he just thought a ranch was like one of those picture perfect ranches with like movies and, like air conditioning and like down pillows, and like fans that can work, like, and he is just like, there's leaks on the floor and there's bugs everywhere and I can't do it. Josh, you see me. It's too much for me. Which, here's the truth. If it's too much for Josh, then I know it's too much for me. Then I know that I'm like, oh my God, I don't know. I wouldn't be able to do it. It'd be too much. Okay, so he does leave. And as we talk about, they check him into a hotel, and it could have been probably any hotel. But he asks the following questions. Is there a bed? And the answer is yes, it's a king size bed. And when he hears that king size bed, honey, I feel like I heard his D get H. I heard his D get H. You know what I'm saying? I heard it. Ooh, dun dun dun. It was just like, oh my God, yeah, I'm sure it's great. He couldn't wait to get in that like shower. It's like this like Spanish themed shower. I think it was really cute with a lot of like tile. It's one of those things where you can tell they have like a shower curtain and there is no light in the actual shower. It's in the bathroom. So he's just like taking like a black ass shower, but there's water running. So then what happens is we get to one of the off camera, drama that happens after this film situations, which is the streets say that this whole thing was fake and that Josh the whole time was dating that girl. dating some girl that he's now married to, okay, who's in the like ketchup, who, by the way, kind of gives me like younger Angela, what younger white washed Angela, because she's Native American and this girl's white. But in their body structure size, in their body structure and boob size and like sex hairness, you know? So in the story that Josh wants to say, it's that Josh couldn't stand, you know, living in the desert, and it was too much for him, and he had to go back, and he, you know, he tried. He also felt like she kind of wanted him to be a ranch hand, and like he just wasn't feeling it, you know. And I think that he really wasn't feeling it sexually and tried in every way to not say that. So at this one point, I'm like, at least he, you know, he's not saying the mean thing. He's just trying so hard. He's not trying, but he's trying. Yeah. But yeah, he just like randomly, you know, hooked up with this girl that he hooked up with before, and now they're getting married. That's what we're supposed to believe with that. She's upset. She's like, Josh still texts me, but he won't answer point blank the question about his wife to me. What are they talking about? Why would they still be talking? What do they have to talk about? Is he gonna like try and find her another plot of land that has more shade? Because when he's telling her that the place isn't for him, I feel bad because she starts crying. She's like, it feels like he's saying my place ain't shit. And the hard truth is that he's saying that place isn't good enough for him. He wouldn't be able to live like that. And so what's not being said is you shouldn't be able to live like that, but you do. Now, it's uncomfortable to say, but that is kind of the whole thing of like, I think that dating is trying to crystallize that in many different ways. How do you live versus how do I live, and can I live in your world? And if living in your world is so unfathomably uncomfortable to me, then I probably shouldn't be with you. And this is different. So like if living in this person that I am seeing's world is that this person's going to be mean to the waiter all the time, or any person that is giving this person service, well, I'm not going to live in that world. How uncomfortable. Then that world is not for me. I can't merge worlds. Very different. But you know, there is that. He's hobosexual. I think Josh has had a lot of revolving options thanks to IG, and oh God, unfortunately, yes. Can you imagine? Yes. I mean, I don't know how much longer he's going to stay married to that girl. An ounce of fame these guys get, and I'm sure there are just like every titty picture in that person's DMs, and I don't think Josh has one. I mean, like bone marrow, one like centimeter of bone marrow that would ever not open and reply to like a titty pic. He could have tried harder. I mean, I think that even though I love Angela and I want more of her, I always thought she was hot. I love that hair. I want to see pictures of her when she was young, the stripper young. And I think that it probably was very intense of a life. And I don't know if we can like say that someone should have like tried harder. Also, I think that he wasn't sexually attracted to her, so there probably wasn't a lot of benefits. We all weigh our risk to benefit ratio, you know? He's lazy, entitled, and a super Uber user. Getting flown out and getting sent gifts. You know, Definitely he's a pool toy, I said. I definitely can't believe he got married. I think that was a dumb move on his point because now he could like use his fame for like just being honestly like, I hate to say this, he could just be like a low rate gigolo. He only wants to do is like have women pay for him. It was kind of the perfect thing. I could do the mountains for a month, but not the desert for a week. Definitely, yeah. I mean, definitely I agree. Especially desert without air conditioning and without running water. Because, yeah, you sweat. You need cold water to wash it off. The mountains are gorgeous. I'd rather be cold at night than warm, especially if I would have the luxury of like down comforters and stuff. So, yeah, I mean, I really want more of Angela. I would love there to be like a full Angela dating show. Angela dating show to get someone to come and live there, and or try and get another plot of land, like an Angela, like searching for another plot of land, like almost like an HGTV show of her finding a more comfortable homing spot. Obviously, I would love a Joe and Maisha like follow up where they're trying to find their third / more. Lindsay and Spence, I just know what's going to happen in the sense of not having like Lindsay be able to say anything afterward was so annoying. And we don't know if there's like, it could be that they're back together by now. I wonder if there'll be a season 2. But that's it, my loves. That's it. Someone just breached my security at compound. Gotta go. Love you all. Oh, why? Oh, God bless. Tell me if you're okay. What a great show, though. Can you believe that all happened to us? So I'm going to end this live soon. Leave you guys anything you want to say about it. And I'm still waiting to see if I can get maybe Lauren or Lindsay to come back, but we'll see. I think I fell off my grind like when my birthday happened. So I like just didn't do anything for so long. I really, really hope everyone's okay. That Lisa comment, like now I got to find out if that's like what's happening with her. You have to update me. Lindsay, thanks so much for spending 2 streams with me on your birthday. I really love you guys and, love talking about love shows with you. Lisa just keeps like getting my goat. Okay. Honey, breeders, sheetrockers, and neighbors. Oh my. So, have you seen the new 90 Days trailer? No, I gotta see it. Oh, honey. You always have like, you're right, I haven't seen it. Okay, let me watch it now. This one has Beanium in it. That's why I was like so not super excited about it. First look, 90. Oh Lord.
Give one like shout, just like let it out. Just one. No, that's all. I don't have butterflies. I have an octopus inside of me. Swipe right and I was this is the hottest one you've seen in my life. Please be real.
Oh my God. Oh, I hate you.
She's getting weight, but it's not about how she looks.
I'll be coming to Kansas City to spend the rest of my life with you.
We've only spent 7 days together. I never want to get married.
Did he really love
Who's a virgin.
She did not people.
Do you need to text me?
Okay, I will. I'm gonna do it. Okay, it's 3 minutes long, so I just went to myself. Young Idaho couple is not going to make it. She wants LA and he's all his cows in his parents' house. I can't wait to watch the 90-day trailer. I'm excited. All new people. That one has such a small face, that one guy, but God bless. The rest of his body's big. People are so interesting looking. I can't wait to see brand new faces. All right, my baes. Thank you for that. The ending is so worth it. Okay, fine. I have to watch it when I'm not I want to like watch it when I'm not like on live with you guys. I also like got out of it. Okay, let me do it later. I will I'll post it in Vanity Fair though. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for being here. I took a breath in the last one, but we can take one together now. Just opening up our live to this week. I love you guys. Thank you so much for your like comments, super comments, engagement. Thank you for liking this video, subscribing, both this video and the live I did before, 90 Day Fiance. Of course, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I am at Chris L. Farah. And I have my private Facebook group, that's Vanity Farah, which I usually post before go live, even though I didn't post this one. Ha ha ha. Yeah, that's it. That is it. That's it, my babes. I'm gonna go brush my teeth. I'm gonna go like continue cleaning. I'm just like Lindsay, just like spending my Monday, honey, cleaning, eating. Happy birthday to us both. Liana. People are here. I love you guys. I think I'm a little tired. I think I just like did 2 lives in a row, and then I try to like eat in between, and now I'm just like, woo, sometimes like a robot that's like getting turned off. Anyway, but that's all coming up. By that's all coming up, I mean Love is Blind. I also talk about, and we'll see what I can do about maybe Lauren or Lindsay coming back. But I hope you have a great week. I hope that we kill it. I'm happy I worked out today. I motivate you to do something for future you. Just take care of yourself in some way for future you. A choice that you make, an extra moment of care that you in the future will take notice of and be like, well, that was great. What a great choice I made in that moment. But now I appreciate, and I will continue to do so. So, all right. I love you guys. Ramsterdam, Betsy, Miriam, Quasi, thank you so much. Ania, thank you so much. I will talk to you all later. And, my loves, I appreciate it. Bye, baby boos. Take care of yourselves and one another. Stand up for what you believe in.